press play. Thanks for accepting this invitation. We gotta live for God to the fullest, never get tired of this. The Lord cares so much about your life, don't wanna see you lose. God's love is fine-tuning. Welcome to Inspired Music. Every verse you hear me write, Christ inspired it.
I got this real one for the buildings, undisputed, Ving reigns. Ain't nothing I can't do. Philippians 4:13. OG called them a dream team to get that devil nightmares. Got a couple scriptures in my glove. Shoulda known I wasn't gon' fight fair.
Hey, it's your boy Will Martin, and you are now tuned in to the Inspired Mix Movement TV. Flex on them.
What up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Inspired Mix Movement TV. We get ready to have some fun under the sun, and as you can see, my kids are back. I got them rocking with me, and they just got one thing to say. What y'all got to say to the people?
Have a good day.
We're gonna have a good show.
And there you have it. We'll be right back. Peace.
Mary, don't you weep. Tell Martha not to mourn, 'cause change is coming soon. Tell me, what do you say to a mother who lost a child in the middle of the streets, the gun heat? And tell me, what do you say to a child who lost a father dying in the streets by the hands of the police? Saying I can't breathe in his last breath. Nukes around the neck, mentally, emotionally, no respect. Racist bias affects us all, killing our communities and families and even Martin's dreams. Discarding us like tissue, blowing in the wind. The stage women and actors, but only few puppeteering to pump fear into the masses, incarcerating hope, parading us around like we're all equal. Man, what an illusion. Why blood spills from innocent people? My God said we're equal and we're regal. Blood cries out like Cain and Abel. Man, please stop feeding us fables. Mary, don't you weep. Tell Martha not to mourn, 'cause change is coming soon. Like Shakespeare, won't you lend me your ear? Prepare yourself, those that have Christ have no fear. Many will die at the hands of themselves. Religious change in Christ, counterfeits and wars will arise. Prepare your families, the Antichrist will shed his disguise. Wicked woman in politics, and we don't know why. Read your word, become the word, and soon be taken. Lean not to what you understand, know that God is making. And many plots will come against the Christian, but I pray that you stand upon your mission, ain't no slipping. Soon America will lose its power because she refuses to surrender to our Father. Darkness will soon fill the streets, so I admonish you to read your word and stay lit. For the kingdom is at hand. The kingdom is at hand. Mary, don't you weep. Tell Martha not to mourn, 'cause change is coming soon. Mary, don't you weep. La, la, la.
every Sunday, they always ask for tithes and offering. Man, 10%. You know what? I'm just gonna give $5 and get over with it. How they gonna find out I gave 10% or not?
$5, that's all you got? Man, God said not 1%, 2%, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Man, give me the ball back, just trifling.
And it is on once again at Inspired Mixed Movement TV. Man, I got an amazing minister, a dope artist, and whenever I need advice about DJing, this is the teacher that I go to for help. Man, y'all give it up for my boy, DJ DLS Music. What's happening with you, bro?
Doing pretty good, man. It's a blessing to be here, man. You know, an honor to be here with the Dr. J over here, you know. And, we just getting in, we just chopping it up, man. You know, good people, very good people, man.
Same.
Like, I like his drive, his, how his tenacity and how, he really does stuff for the kingdom and the passion. That's what I like about Mr. Dr. J over here. He has that passion, for God and, and his people.
Man, I appreciate you, man. And I'm glad you was able to come through, bro. So for starters, can you let the viewers know where you're from?
Oh, I'm from Dallas, Texas. Right over in the
D-Town
Oak Cliff area. Graduated from Roosevelt High School, class of 2005. I know I'm a youngin'.
Man, that's what's up, man. Look, I'm from the NO, but I'm class of 2005 as well.
Okay.
But man, so can you share about your call to ministry?
Let me see, my call to ministry, it started when I was younger. I was raised in a church. My mom and my dad go to, pretty much have me in church Monday through Sunday. We was always, in prayer meetings. We would go, like, I remember going to Concord before it's, how it is now. It was Concord Missionary Baptist Church. And then we would go there and then leave there and then go to Christ Willing Workers with my aunt's church. So when I say in church all day long, we was in church all day long.
Oh, man.
And so I grew into, really knowing the Lord. But, tragically when, just to go on a little backstory, that when my mom had passed away, it caused me to kind of stray away from God. And so when I strayed away from God, honestly, and I'm going to be real with you, I was mad at God for a while because of the fact that I was like, how you gonna take my mom away? And then all of a sudden, other stuff started to change, and then stuff started becoming bad into my life. But see, I was the type of person that was going to church on my own for people. I wasn't going to church seeking the Lord myself. But when we talk about calling ministry, when I started to seek the Lord for myself, that's when I was able to, really find Him for myself, not through anybody else. And then this kind of a funny story. I used to be a super copycat when it comes to church. If people was, praying in tongues, I thought if I say some words just like them, that I would sound deep and all this other stuff. Until the Spirit came on me and I started to develop tongues for myself. But then when it comes to the call of ministry, when I start to know who I am in Him, there's what Lost in Transition birthed from. Knowing who I am, a person that didn't used to have no core values, that didn't used to stand on nothing, but now I know who I am. But guess what? I'm still lost in transition. I was dead up in my sin. Now that I'm born again, and I'm still struggling because I was lost in transition.
Sure. And as I checked out some of your stuff from when you first got started, I saw that you was running with Gospel Flows. So how did you hook up with your boy Prodigal at Gospel Flows and the Christian Lounge?
I first started doing gospel hip hop in 2011.
Okay.
And so I recorded my first CD. It was the original Lost in Transition. And so I was just rapping, and then a friend of mine, Robert Wagner, was like, yo, dude named Vincent Ellis, he had started this Christian lounge.
Yeah.
And so I remember it first starting on Super Bowl Sunday, and he'll tell you that wasn't nobody there.
Yeah, he did say that.
And then the second time I came around, I talked to A. Renee, and I was like, hey, I want to get on the open mic. And she'll still tease me to this day that, you know, I came up shy, came up to open mic, and I remember the first song I did called I Give Him Praise. So I was like, I give him praise every day. So I was just super hyped. And I was like, yo, wow. Then next thing you know, I started getting more confident. And then one thing that me and my brother, you know, like to do, we like to serve. And so, you know, Prodigal pretty much just took us under his wing, and we just started serving for Gospel Flows, going to different events, setting up, and stuff like that. And then next thing you know, went from serving to, you know, now we are artists. Then, you know, back in 2015, 2016, we had the Gospel Flows team. It was like Gospel Flows Music. You know, we was running, you know, deep around that time. Then, you know, DJing, engineering. So that's how I pretty much got started, with just me serving.
Sure. And I also saw that you had released a couple projects as well. Can you share about the Finding My Way album? And you had mentioned earlier you also released Lost in Transition.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Lost in Transition Volume 1. That was you know, with Gospel Flows. That's where the song Overflow came from. That's where a lot of my other songs like I'm Just Living My Life with Jay Jones. We had a big collaboration on that CD, and like I had the poetry and everything on that CD, and I mean I still listen to that CD to this day, and that was just the start of the testimony. Well, see, in between those two times, in between the first Lost in Transition to Finding My Way, I ended up starting school. I ended up getting married, and you know, ended up suffering losses and stuff like that in between that time. So I was still kind of lost in transition, but I noticed that I needed to find my way. And so Finding My Way, that CD is a little bit different. That's more me rapping a little bit and giving a word. Like I will rap something, like I did a song, did a video a few months ago called Locked Up. And I kind of painted this image where I had handcuffs and I was, you know, locked up in you know, in these chains and stuff. And I got myself out. I said, I'm trapped in a maze with a lot of rage, thinking so bad, you know, with my membrane. And so I'm locked up in there. But right after that song, I talked about in the short sermon about being locked up. Most of the time we think that, you know, when it comes to jail, that we're locked up that way, but sometimes we could be locked up in the same addiction. We could be locked up in the same struggle that we've been dealing with for 10 to 20 to 30 years. We could still be locked up, and sometimes we don't realize that we are locked up. And so that CD is particularly talking about, you know, finding my way. And then Lost in Transition was just me just expressing myself.
Man, that's what's up. And speaking of Lost in Transition, I see you have a book here.
Oh yes.
Can you share about it real quick?
This is my Lost in Transition Reflections. I originally did this book in 2017, but then I officially released it in 2019. This book right here is called Reflections because when God, I was actually on the fast. I was on this 21-day fast, and God showed me that I really gotta, sometimes I gotta, instead of me looking at the flaws in anybody else, I gotta look at myself. I gotta reflect. I gotta, when you look at the mirror, when you look in the mirror, do you see Him or do you see your imperfections? And sometimes when no one's motivating you, or sometimes you have this approval addiction that you gotta have somebody to motivate you, guess what? You gotta motivate yourself. And so every quote on here starts with, you have to get to a point in your life Sometimes you gotta look in the mirror. You say, you know what? Let's say an example. I want to lose weight. You gotta look at yourself in the mirror. I want you to get to a point in your life where you stop, eating out a lot. You stop eating the wrong things. You start, drinking water a little bit more. You can take that into the spiritual. You say, you know what? I need to get up and read my Bible in the morning. I need to, pray. I need to have devotional in the morning. I need to start doing this stuff. But it's like you have to get to a point in your life because it starts with you. And then in each of these, it's more like a journal. And so in each of these, you can also write your thoughts down. And it also has a scripture, and you write your thoughts under the scripture. And so you go back and look at it. And you say, you know what? I was dealing with this back in this day, or, a couple of weeks ago. But just by reading this book, it helped me overcome. And even in a lot of the quotes are stuff that I dealt with, but God said that somebody else is dealing with the same thing. Also, this is quote number 6. You have to get to a point in your life where you stop magnifying the problem and start magnifying God. Stop giving your problems power and turn to God's power to fix your problems. Sometimes we talk about the situation so much. We cry about the situation. We're like, Lord, are you going to do it for me? You're going to help me in this situation. You're glorifying the problem. When you glorify the problem too much, guess what? It becomes your God. And once it becomes your God, guess what? That's going against the first commandment. Thou shalt not have no other gods before me. The second commandment is the same thing. So that's pretty much what this book is talking about. It's pretty much a motivational journal to help you get through life.
Sure. Love that, bro. Man, so also, can you share about how you became a DJ and began D-Lit Entertainment?
Ooh, man, it's the fun part. Now, I've always been in the music. My dad would tell you that when I was little, in order for me to go to sleep, he'll drive me around at nighttime with jazz music playing. That's why I love jazz music. I mean, so I would listen to jazz music, Kenny G, Boney James, and stuff like that. Just jazz music. I played in a band, trombone, tuba, and also, self-taught on the bass. I still got a lot of learning to do. So I listened to, that type of music. But then as far as when I became a DJ, I was like, you know what, I think I can do this. And Prodigal, he started me out. He had his analog gear with the CDs and stuff like that. And so, I was just spinning records. I had my case full of CDs. I actually still have that case now. I still have that case full of CDs. I used to get so excited and in tune about it. I make my own little mixes, put it on the CD, and did that. And then I graduated from that to the USBs. And then, when I started getting my own equipment, I started to, do the, DJ Serato and the actual controllers, turntables and stuff like that. And so the passion grew to where I just kept getting songs after songs and listening, and even with me being in the engineering and stuff, listening to the BPMs and how to change stuff, how to match songs, and also looking at the crowd's reaction.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't even get me, just like how I be on stage. Like, if the people ain't, paying me no mind and stuff like that, I can tell they looking and say, like, okay. Even if they just sit there and do that, it's like, okay, I done my job. And so the DJing, started with Prodigal just giving me that, that chance with, the analog gear, and then, graduating up to that. Now, D-Lit Entertainment is pretty much me as an engineer, as a DJ, and now as an artist. And so when I was pushing myself as an artist, it was Lost in Transition Ministries. And I was like, you know what? There's a difference between the ministries and the entertainment. I need something to separate the two. This right here will be more Lost in Transition Ministries. Me preaching, me giving the word, that's more Lost in Transition Ministries. Right. Not even the CD can be considered Lost in Transition Ministries, but that's more entertainment. So how do I separate the two? Well, D-Lit Entertainment, you know, and also, you know, if you think about lit, lost in transition.
Yeah.
And then, you know, as far as like, you know, trying to find that name, I was like, okay, it's still D-Lit. You still D-Lit. Derek Lost in Transition Entertainment, if you want to just break it down like that. And so, just been, you know, pushing that. I'm real, you know, proud of what I'm doing so far, even with the engineering, and just, you know, learning. Just learning, you know, learning more about, you know, the business, and even, you know, going on steps and, you know, further. Because even my, you know, late wife, she really instilled in me like those, you know, doing stuff the right way. Not doing stuff bootleg. You know, she helped me get back into school. She helped me to, you know, really register Lost in Transition Ministry. Not just saying, you know, once you put that stuff on paper and once you get it official, then you're serious. People can talk about it all the time. People can wish. People can say, well, I want to start this. Once you get it registered and once you put it out there, guess what? You serious. Then what you gonna do now? So it's like, you gotta be serious about it. And the only way to be serious when it comes to, you know, doing this type of things, you gotta put it out there. First, you gotta put it out there with your words. You gotta write it down, put it out there with your words, put it out into the atmosphere, and you gotta do something about it.
That's on the real. Look, man, see, that's why I said, man, when I need help, this is the teacher I go to. Like, matter of fact, I just want to share a funny moment. So we was at Taste of Soul, right?
Yeah.
And I DJ'd the whole event. And I had a few of our friends pretty much threaten me. They said I was going to be in hot water if I didn't get on the stage. So I'm like, man, I got to get up on the stage. I'm DJing for everybody, but who gonna help me?
Wow.
When it was my turn to go up, guess who came to my rescue? I ain't even gonna look at him. Yo, I appreciate you for real, man, for helping me out when I went up on stage, man.
Yeah, because I mean, it would have been, I mean, to me, I would have looked crazy as a DJ myself and just sit there and be like, okay, somebody else gonna go up there and push the button. And I know how it is, you know, as an artist and as a DJ, you know, you want somebody that kind of know how to work your stuff, you know, to do it and how to, you know, do all the little creative spins out and all that. Yeah. And, you know, you want to know somebody that kind of work it, because you mess around and just press the button and go away, and you be like, go to the next song, the other song just playing, and you just like, man, you just done messed up my set.
Oh, man, that's so on the real, man, it's so true. Man, but to also add to the list, you dropped some amazing singles this year, including We Need Change and Stronger with Miss Courtney Johnson.
Yeah.
Can you share the inspiration behind those two songs?
We Need Change, that came when I was just upset. I was actually upset when We Need Change came about. Because I was looking at TV, and around that time it was constant fighting, it was constant bickering, constant murdering. Then all I'm seeing is all of these, you know, stuff happening on, you know, TikTok, the marriages being broken up. And I was like, yo, we need a change in this world. And then I thought about it, I said, we need change. Stop all this nonsense killing, stop with the crazy division. And I was like, we need change. Stop with all this dealing, stand up for the women and children. And then so I started to really think about, you know what, we really need change. And then, and just to be honest, there was almost an explicit version to this song because I was mad. I'm gonna be real with you, there was almost an explicit version to this song because of how mad I was. You know, I started off saying, every time I turn on the TV, I get an instant headache. All the drama going in the world, we need some peace for goodness sake. Social media ain't doing it better, what people talk about, get it. So that whole song was more of me being, you know, angry, but angry in a good way. Like, yo, I'm frustrated at this. We need change. And then I said, clickbaiting all the time, reeling us in like a fish. People struggling, losing jobs, but they don't really give up. And I was like, wow, we really need change. And what's crazy about it, I didn't even know that song was gonna get that much attention. I literally just dropped the song. I immediately dropped the video. Worked with 29. Matter of fact, I was talking to you about it. I was like, yo, who did the video for the DFW lights?
Yeah. P, what up?
And 29 2 million. I was like, yo, I gotta get a video for this. And then next thing you know, he was on it. He was like, yo, this how much I charge? I was like, yo, let's do this. I mean, even before, like I put We Need Change on the streaming platform, what, a week later? Literally a week later of me announcing the song, I was just like, I'm gonna put it on the streaming platform, and then put it out there. And We Need Change. That's like one of the songs that really is dear to my heart. Well, I ain't even say that because I know Stronger is more dear to my heart, but I'm gonna get into that one in a second. But We Need Change is like what we really need in this world. Really just to be real. I was talking to a friend of mine earlier, and I was just seeing how they are, defending and trying to pull in the letter crew. I know how it is with stuff that it might get blocked off or shut down, but I'm gonna say they pull it in the letter crew, and the letter crew has these billboards talking about if you are in this letter crew, guess what? You need help. You gotta do this. These help hotline and stuff like that. It's like what happened is like now they're their own race, but that's a choice. It's your sexual choice. Just because that's your sexual choice, that means that don't put that on all of us. And so that's why what really made me frustrated is like, and I thought about it, I said we really need change, but it starts with us. Change starts with us. Now, once we really start with us, with changing our lives, changing how we think, changing how we act, guess what? We're gonna become stronger. And with the song "Stronger," that one's really dear to my heart because it shows a little bit of what I've been through in the last 4 to 5 years. I was saying that I've been around the block. I done took a few turns. I have even learned a couple of lessons. Even when I was hard-headed, I didn't think about the wreckage. My trials has been a total blessing. Been a long ride. Now I feel like a loner. God told me you won't suffer no longer. I was knocked down. It only fueled my hunger. What didn't kill me only made me stronger. And so the backstory behind Stronger, back in in 2018, I got married. At the end, by 2018, by October 15th of 2018, I was planning a funeral. Wife, daughter, and her friend was killed in a car accident. And then, all of a sudden, had to go through all of that stuff, having to take off work. And having to, talk to people trying to, come around and stuff like that. But I was so mad. That's why that song on there, I talked about people saying, for help, but I didn't want to, I didn't really want no help because I was mad. I feel like, okay, what could I have done? Maybe I should have went on that trip. I was mad at my job for a minute. Man, maybe I'm always working these weekends, man. I should have, if I was there, it wouldn't have happened. What if I didn't? What if? It was so many what ifs. But in the midst of that, I was still in school. I was still in school because she started me in school. And I had to realize, and I think to myself that if I give up on what God has showed me, I might as well be in the grave just like her. If I give up right now, I might as well be in the grave just like her. And then next thing you know, it was controversy, cases, all that stuff. 2019. Then I was just talking to Storm, we was talking about the song I got called Came a Long Way. And it talked about the time that in 2019 that I went on this real drinking spell. Preaching and everything. Sitting there, you know, still doing videos, got into hard drinking. Hennessy. When I sing that song, Hennessy and Crown was my go-to. Straight. Daiquiris all the time. Trying to drown out all the heartache and pain and all the hell I had to go through. And so it went from that and then got injured. Injury set 2019, so 2 years of getting hit after hit. 2020, I got into the IT department. Okay, that was good. All of a sudden, injured, you know, some more. And then 2021, had to have rotator cuff surgery. And in the midst of all those injuries, had to change doctors 3 times because I wasn't getting the proper care. Because I was like, well, wait a second, how are you caring for someone else and I got a real injury? I'm trying to get better so I can get back out there. Sometimes, but I had to think about it. God delayed that for a reason. Because if I'd have just jumped back out there, start DJing and everything, I would have messed myself up even more. And so, injury after injury, 2021, had to have rotator cuff surgery. And so, even in the video, you see where I'm looking at myself and having to go through those injuries. I didn't have physical therapy for 3 months. That's unheard of for a lot of people, but that was that, you know, surgeon thing. They put me back on my route pretty quickly. Guess what? Injured myself again. And so I was thinking about all of that different stuff, and that's where the song Stronger came from. Stronger was the song that me and Courtney came up with in one day, actually one night. I sent her the beat with the hook that I already had on there. On the way when she was coming to the studio, she already had the, you know, words, and we put it together in one night, and it just flowed. I wrote the verse and all that stuff in one night. That was like one of the songs that I've done literally in one night. We May Change was the same way because I was in this zone. When you're in this zone, when you got the, you know, the gas going, you don't want to stop. Even if there's obstacles in the way, you be like, Lord, let me be my GPS, my God positioning system. Get me around this construction. Get me around this traffic. So at that point, I was, you know, gunning. And just after those 2 songs, started working on the project. That really wasn't, I didn't even intend on even doing a project. It just came.
Man, I hear you, bro. Man, and speaking of that new project, you know, this month is an amazing month for you because you're getting ready to release that project, which is called Lost in Transition Volume 2. You know, can you share a little bit about that?
Man, this CD is really expressing me. It's more like, okay, you got the, you know, Dr. J's, you know, Jake Bridges, you got DLS music, but then in this CD, I'm expressing Derek. I'm not expressing, this is not DLS music, this is not the, you know, super turned up, you know, you see me and all that, this is being transparent. The first song on there is called Confession. So I'm literally confessing, you know, the stuff that that I was going through and still having to battle with all the time. There are a lot of songs called Came a Long Way. The song's called I Took a Different Route. And each one of these, you know, songs, you know, that just shows more, it's just me being transparent. Because it's like, I have to be transparent. Not for me to get the glory, but for God to get the glory. Because if somebody hears the song Stronger, and say, yo, that song Stronger really helped me out. You know, I was really thinking about jumping off a bridge today, but just by you said that I'd have been around a block, I'd have took a few turns. You said that, yo, I done been through that, yo, I've been through that too. I wanted to jump off this bridge, but man, that song right there helped me. Or they heard the song with me and Modesty called I Recognize. You know, I recognize my faults. I recognize, you know, how I used to be. I recognize that I have issues. I recognize that I have struggles. But guess what? If somebody come to me and say, hey, man, that song I recognize, yo, I rocks with that, man. I was going through that same thing. That's what it's really all about. If your music is not speaking life into someone, you might as well throw it away. Because your life, especially as ministers, we got two different, you know, you got artists, you got ministers. You can be an artist and a minister. Some people are just artists. You know, the songs is turned up, you get the crowd going. But then you got some that are ministers. They're ministered through that music. They got the testimony. You know, some people are like, well, you ain't trying to hear all that testimony and stuff like that. But guess what? What you ain't trying to hear, somebody else is hearing, and it's helping them. And so you got the artists and you got the ministers. You want to be able to be both. You want to be able to minister, you know, your work, especially as a gospel artist, because that's the calling. That's the gospel. You know, Jesus told his disciples, you know, to go out there and make disciples. So if we are doing that, you know, through gospel hip hop, that's what it has to be. So, you know, Lost in Transition Volume 2 is me being transparent, and it's me ministering to people.
For sure, bro. And besides releasing a new project, Lost in Transition 2, what's next for DLS?
And I actually got enough songs to release Volume 3, but what's next is you know, I do have to have surgery again coming up soon. But in that time, just like last year, I'm going to really be studying, and I'm also going to release a book soon called I Was Lost in Transition. That is my novel that's really, you know, talking about, you know, really me, the struggles, the testimony, and it's just like, you know, different chapters saying from unsurety to knowing, from insecurities to securities. And that's what I'm gonna be working on. And then I've been wanting to drop this to release this devotional called the Walk of Life devotional. And that's pretty much it as far as like what's next. Because I know if I start working on a CD again, I'll probably have Volume 3 by the end of the year. So I'm gonna kind of, you know, put that down. But I'm also, you know, still be ministering. I also have my podcast called the Lit Podcast. And then I'm going to continue to do that, have more guests on there to where we can really just chop it up about the word and really just, you know, apply real life situations, you know, for people to, you know, to listen, to understand, and to just grasp what God is doing.
Sure, man. Well, can't wait to see all that you come out with and release, man, and we will most definitely keep you in our prayers during the surgery.
Yeah.
Man, but ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here, the good word, the deep word from the bro DLS, man. We're about to run some more videos, and we'll be right back with more Inspire Mixed Movement TV.
Wait a second. I forgot to say this. August 13th, 8 o'clock.
Get ready.
Doors open. Lost in Transition Volume 2 mixtape release. Guess what?
Right.
Guess who's gonna be on the lineup? It's gonna be Storm. It's gonna be D Lane. It's gonna be Jay Jones. Gonna be Jay Elliott and Mr. James Travis, Mr. Watch Guy. We're gonna have DJ Epiphany as the DJ. We're gonna have A. Renee as the host. It's gonna be live at the Christian Lounge. It's going up and it's not coming down. August the 13th, next Saturday to be exact.
Well, there you have it, man. Get ready. We'll be right back.
took a few turns. I have even learned a couple of lessons. Even when I was hard-headed, I didn't think about the wreckage. My trials has been a total blessing. It's been a long ride, now I feel like a loner. God told me you won't suffer no longer. Nah, I was knocked down, it only fueled my hunger. What didn't kill me only made me stronger. I've been going through the same mess for a few years. Have a lot of fears and I shed a lot of tears. Drinking like a fool, hold your cup up, cheers. My clutch was so stuck, I couldn't switch gears. Staying in neutral, up and down like a seesaw. Times in my life, I wanted to forget it all. Called on MIB, erased my memory to have no recollection of this pain and jealousy. Yeah, but that was really wishful thinking. Had a hard head, that's why my ship keeps sinking. Preaching on Sunday, thinking that I'm killing this. Then come Monday, I am back in the wilderness. Yeah, I was lost in transition, have no direction, my compass was missing. Cataracts in my eyes, I couldn't see the sun. I learned a lot of lessons, life 101. Man.
Stronger than ever, stronger than ever. Stronger than ever, stronger than ever. I won't give up, I won't give in. I'ma fight until the end. 'Cause I'm stronger than ever, stronger than ever, stronger than ever.
I done been around the block, I done took a few turns. I have even learned a couple of lessons. Even when I was hard-headed, I didn't think about the wreckage. My trials has been a total blessing. It's been a long ride, now I feel like a loner. God told me you won't suffer no longer. I was knocked down, it only fueled my hunger. What didn't kill me only made me stronger, made me strong. I was shot down, persecuted, didn't know any better. I was clueless, neglected, and humiliated. People giving me help, I didn't wanna take it. Talking to myself, lying in pity. So ashamed, running from the committee. Sad and angry all the time, I couldn't stop kicking. God, I need your help, I need an intervention. Yes, and then he came to my rescue. I realized the Most High is my refuge. Swimming in the ocean, biting on the devil's bait. Repenting for my junk, he gave me a clean slate. I might be hurting in my body, but that's okay. I'ma praise and give God glory anyway. The devil throwing bullets, really trying to murk me. Strong in the spirit, kryptonite can't hurt me.
Stronger now than I was before.
Visuals, where everything is clear.
I know what bring the boys to the yard. I know how to get a man to love God. I know what God say go hard. I know, this is how we glow. My glow, my glow, my glow, my glow, my glow, my glow, my, this is how we glow. My glow, my glow, my glow, my glow, my glow, my glow. My, this is how we glow. Peace from inside, that's the way. Fill my heart with hope and grace. Mold me, Lord, like I'm your clay. Fill my spirit with your grace. I put on a humbleness, gentleness, what keep me blessed. If I fall, I just confess. I put on your righteousness. Got a mean wardrobe, more expensive than Louis, but it won't fade away like that Prada and Gucci. No Balenciaga, baby, I'm just doing my duty. I be quiet when it's time, I just sip on the smoothie. R-E-S-P-E-C-T, learn from B-I-B-L-E. R-E-S-P-E-C-T, can't take my word from me. I know what bring the boys to the yard. I know how to get a man to love God. I know what God say go hard. I know, this is how we glow. My glow, my glow, my glow, my glow, my glow, my glow, my, this is how we glow. My glow, my glow, my glow, my glow, my glow, my glow, my, this is how we glow.
Shown up, I glow up. My faith in God gon' show up. I do His will, I'm grown up. My husband say I glow up. I give my all to please the Lord. Put in work if it gets hard. Gentleness is what he wants, it's what I do. Now how about you? Got a mean wardrobe, boy, expensive than loot. But it won't fade away like that Prada and Gucci. No Balenciaga, baby, I'm just doing my duty. I be quiet when it's time, I just sip on the smoothie. Hey, R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Learn from D-I-B-L-E. R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Can't take my work from me.
I know what bring the boys to the yard. I know how to get a man to love God. I know what God say go hard. I know, this is how we glow. My glow, my glow, my glow, my glow, my glow, my glow, my, this is how we glow. My glow, my glow, my glow, my glow, my glow, my glow, my, this is how we glow.
And we are back with Inspire Mixed Movement TV.
Hello.
Man, now I'm talking to this phenomenal woman right here who knows how to wreck shop so hard that they gave her the nickname Storm.
Ooh.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Miss Shenietria.
Hello. Praise the Lord. How
What's
you doing,
going on
brother?
with you, man?
Excited to be on the show. Congratulations.
Man,
thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Yes, love your energy. Love to see you out there DJing every single day.
Oh man, appreciate it, man. Man, so for starters, can you share with the people where you're from?
I am from a small town called Madison Parish, out of Tallulah, Louisiana. I'm from the
What?
country. Yeah.
You from the Boola? I'm from that Boo too. That
I'm a country girl.
That's what's up, man.
All right.
So can you share about your beginning with music? Cause you can sing and rap, like.
Yes. God be the glory. It started, well, for one, you know, my dad is a musician. He played the drums and he's a guitar player. And so when I was young, I used to see him play the guitar all the time with that pick. And he never really sang that much, but just by seeing him play the guitar, something in me resonated. And then my grandma, Bobby Shaw, she raised me. So she had Bibles all around the house. So I remember when I was like 7 years old, I picked up the Bible. And she would always try to encourage me to read the Bible, but I didn't really understand the Bible. So what I did was I rapped the scriptures. I would just look at the Bible and read it and start rapping.
Wow.
And I love poetry books, anything that rhymed. I listened to Elvis Presley, grew up on Run DMC, and it's just like I was fascinated with all of these rappers. LL Cool J, Curtis Blow.
Right.
I'm revealing my age now when I say that, but.
But
you know what? You know,
real music.
The music, yes, that's where it started with the hip hop, Beastie Boys, you know, Madonna, you know, all of that. So it started at a young age, and it was just with me. You know, the music was in me, and it runs in the family.
Man, and I also know that you're not just into music, but you're into other different ministries as well. Can you share about that?
Yes, exactly. I love prayer, so everyone knows I'm the prayer warrior. So it started with a seed, which was Bobby Shaw, the grandmother who raised me. She passed the torch to me. She left me a rich inheritance, which is called prayer. And every day, 3 times a day, I would see Bobby Shaw, my grandmother. She had this chair in the middle of the floor in the dining room, and she'd stoop down and she would pray. And I would watch her all the time, but I never really could hear her. But I know she was praying. And so when I became like 26, I got addicted to drugs. You know, I was an alcoholic. I went through domestic violence and all that stuff. And I knew of prayer, but at that time I kind of strayed away from God. I really wasn't saved. So I ended up getting on this prophetic prayer line. A lot of people don't talk about prayer lines, but there's power in prayer lines. I joined this prayer line. A friend of mine said, look, I need you to call this prayer line and get on there. This guy prays, this prophet prays 7 o'clock every night. And I was like, okay. So I joined the prayer line, and when I joined that prayer line, I just started feeling strength inside of me to pray. So I was like, well, you know what, I want to do that. I want to pray. So I created me a little small prayer closet, and I began praying. And the more and more I prayed, the more closer I got to God. And then one day I prayed so hard while I was addicted to drugs, and surely God just broke those chains off my life. He planted me in a church, and He got me cleaned up.
That's what's up, man. Yeah. Very glad to hear that.
Yes.
Man, so this year, I gotta share this with you. So this year, I was learning about you, but I really heard you when we shared the stage together at Life Through Art.
Oh yeah, man.
Man, you came out with that victory. Man, what? Yo, so how did you link up with Life Through Art?
Life Through Art had, had an open mic event, and I saw the flyer on Facebook, and I just went ahead and signed up that day, and it was just a dynamic experience, you know.
Man.
All of the other ministers there, they parted too, so, you know, I was really proud to see all of the other ministers get on there and share their testimony and share their fire for God. And it was an amazing opportunity.
Man.
It really was.
I'm glad you came through and represented, man.
Yes, absolutely.
That song was lovely. Man, so now let's talk about your album, War Cry. Can you share the inspiration behind that?
War Cry basically came from the birth of pain. You know, I was in a painful place. You know, I had went through so much traumatizing events. You know, I lost my mother, you know, 2.5 years ago. She died of a tragic death. You know, she got struck by a vehicle on the way to my home walking. So, you know, War Cry, it's what you hear in that War Cry is a release of pain. You hear a woman giving birth. You hear God. You know, there's a breakthrough, a prayer breakthrough track on there, which is my favorite because you can literally feel God breathing over that track. You know, so it's about prayer. It's about worship. You will hear a little bit of praise. You know, I look at it as, you know, a spiritual workout, if you will, because it will get you really. It'll just encourage you to pray from a place of victory. It will encourage you to praise God, and it will also encourage you to worship God. You know, the Bible says to worship God in spirit and in truth. Yeah. So it's not all about rapping. I love rap, but I find myself falling in love more with the aroma of prayer and the style of worship. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm a worshiper.
Oh yeah, and I'm telling you, man, we can feel all of that when we hear your album.
Praise God.
Man, God is good.
Yes, He is.
And now, another funny moment I want to share. So, I was signed up to be your DJ long before we even got to know each other.
Woo, talk about divine connection.
Because we didn't find out until that night we met in Life Through Art.
I was so shocked, and the thing about it, it's so funny because I prayed a silent prayer. I said, Lord, I wish He could be my DJ. And then he comes up to me and he's like, you know I'm your DJ, right? I'm DJing for your album release party, you know that, right? I said, wait a minute. I thought I had another DJ. He said, no, I'm your DJ, Storm.
I pulled out that flyer.
Get out.
My dad.
I said, get out. I was like, yeah. I said, nobody told me nothing. I didn't even know.
Man.
But I was so happy.
Man,
I was so happy.
I'm very thankful to have that blessing as well, man. Because, again, we had a lot of fun that night, man.
We had, oh my gosh, we had an amazing time.
Can you share with the viewers about the fun we had at your album release party?
Oh man, I tell you one thing, I'm not gonna lie, I'll be transparent. I was a nervous wreck, but oh, and my brother DLS, he looked over at me and he smiled and he came up to me and he was like, you got this, you got this. I'm like, is it that obvious I'm nervous? And so he was like, you got this, but that encouraged me. You know, he noticed that, you know, that I was nervous, and I was like, Lord, you know, I started shaking on the inside, you know, looking at all these people, and I'm like, okay, I'm nervous. But when I got up there, I quoted that Bible scripture, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Right.
And all of a sudden, God just took over, and He said, you know what, you got this, you got this.
Man.
And when you're doing something for God's glory, you know, everything falls in place.
True.
You know, You'll hit the right melody, you will hit the right notes. Even if you rapping, you will hit those hooks like nothing. You know, when you're doing it for God's glory, He will manifest and He'll touch the people and He'll speak through you and He'll get all inside your vocal cords and you let Him do the work and you get out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
I appreciate all the people that was there.
Oh, man. We had STK.
Shout out to STK. Oh my gosh.
Jeremiah
sang, he brought it.
Daniel. Wait, it was two Jeremiahs. It was Jay Sang.
Yeah, Jay Sang.
And Jeremiah the prophet. And we also had Miss Dana in the building.
Yeah.
With our friend DLS, man, rocking the stage together.
He always bring it.
Yeah. It was an amazing
So much
night.
Support. So much love.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, you can feel it all in the atmosphere.
Mm-hmm. Man, so speaking of, you know, the album and the release party, it's these 3 songs I want to ask you about. You know, I want you to give your rhyme and reason on. The first one is the one I had already mentioned. That's a strong song. Victory.
Yeah.
Can you share about it?
Man, you know why? Because I'll tell you why. Because see, I'm a prayer warrior, and when you're an intercessor and you're praying, you quote the scriptures. You quote the Bible scriptures when you're talking to God. You release His word back to Him. What He said. Jesus Christ, He died on the cross so that we could have the victory.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what you're going through, whatever storm that you're facing. It doesn't even matter if you're going through spiritual warfare. You have to declare that you already have the victory. So when I pray from a place of victory. And it's simple as that. Whatever you're going through, you've got the victory.
The victory.
Simple as that. You got the victory. Victory is mine. That means we're winning.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Man, so the next one I want you to share about is Thank You.
Yeah, thank you. Basically, I shared two. I shared two testimonies in Thank You, and basically, I'm thanking God for the trials and tribulations. I don't just thank God for the blessings. Sure. You know, I thank God for the storm that I'm in. Even though when I'm grieving for the loss of my mom, I thank Him for the grief because I learned that grief is a gift. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. I shared a testimony and thank you regarding my brothers. I have 2 brothers that I'm so dearly close to. And back in 2002, the judge sentenced my brothers 60 and 50 years. So I had to walk around with that pain, and it still hurts to this day of losing, you know, them to the system. So I talk about them in the Bible. I talk about them in that verse. And then I also talk about in that verse about how I was so addicted. And it was to the point where I thought I almost lost my mind. So in that I talk about it because there was a time when I was so high and I thought I was going to just lose it. You know, and so I'm basically telling everyone that, you know, that you can thank God, you know, taste and see that the Lord is good, for His steadfast love, it endures forever. That's what the Bible says.
Man, and speaking of what you just told, that's actually very fitting for the next song I want you to share about, which is Turn It All Around.
Well, you know, the Bible says that the Lord works all things together for good. He can turn things around. God can turn the tides. It's basically an encouraging prayer. If you listen to the song, all it is basically encouraging someone, whether you're in a dark season, whether you're in a season of uncertainty, whether you're just confused about something. God can turn it all around. He can literally turn the tides. As you see, He turned my life around. I was just an addict and I was filthy and dirty, and God gave me beauty for ashes. Man. Straight up.
Sure. True indeed, man. So if we could just recap for a second, you know, this has been a great year for you.
It has.
Did your thing in life through art. You came and rocked with us at Taste of Soul.
Yeah.
Your album, plus the album release party. Like, what's next for Shenietria Kyle, man?
What is next for me? I would like to shout out to my girl Harvest. She is implementing a tour.
Yeah.
All-female tour. We're gonna hit up the cities of Detroit, Houston. We're gonna rock out. We're gonna go to Florida. We're gonna go to Chi-Town. Man, it's on and popping, so be on the lookout for that. And also, if the Lord is willing, I will be writing a book. It will be a prayer book, you know, and it will be called Hands to War. If the Lord is willing, I also pray that I'll be releasing some prayer apparel out, you know, next year.
Yeah.
And also releasing the next album in 2023, which I don't have a title yet, but look out for it. It's just contemporary songs. Contemporary songs mixed with a little rap, but more worship for you. More worship and more contemporary. Less rap. I might go in a little rap verse. I don't know.
Man, and also shout out to our homeboy who had just went up first, because you also gonna be rocking with him.
Man, I'm so excited. The time is coming, man. He's been working so hard.
Transition, baby.
Man, he's been working so hard. I'm proud of my brother, and the fact that he extended the opportunity for me to rock out on his set, that gives me joy in my heart. He's a good person.
Man, he truly is, man. That's what's up.
Hopefully you'll be the DJ.
Hey,
we pray.
Nah, I think he said, well, shout out to you, Pip. I think he
Epiphany. Shout out to you too.
What up, Deshay?
Yes, shout out to you, girl. She'll be on tour too with us.
That's what's up, man. I can't wait to see that tour.
Lovely girl, lovely girl.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, man, I want to thank Miss Shenietria for coming through once again.
Yeah.
Man, I appreciate both of y'all for being on the show for real.
Thank you so much.
So we're going to close out, no problem, man. So we're going to close out with some more videos. This your friendly neighborhood DJ, Dr. J, signing off saying much love. Remember to love God, love each other, and love yourselves. Be blessed.
"2020 Visuals, where everything is clear."
J to the B. This track is called Be Beautiful. Just some self-encouragement. No matter who you are, you can't be anybody else. You can only be you. Cause God made you beautiful. Listen. Forget about the way the world rates you. The world's making labels to divide the beauty of the Lord's creation. I had a wicked desire for blowing up, cause I'm the underdog all of my days of growing up. Lot of struggle beneath the layers. No, I never been a player, a heart throb never. I'm big and silly as ever. However, the Lord is the reason my heart is vibing. I'ma praise God until my heart is stopping, till I breathe my last breath. Through God's will I never half step. I have drunk is like heavenly dance. The best He gives, beautiful ashes in the jar for the pain. To see the sunrise, sometimes you gotta go through the rain. So don't be feeling down, as long as Christ forever reign. He be the lead singer to all our heartbeats, no way to came. I repeat, Christ forever reign. He be the lead singer to all our heartbeats, no way to came. No need to harm yourself, God made you be beautiful. Just learn to love yourself, God made you be beautiful. He's more than glad to help, He made you be beautiful. So you just gotta be yourself, God made you be beautiful. No need to harm yourself, God made you be beautiful. Just learn to love yourself, God made you be beautiful. He's more than glad to help, He made you be beautiful. So you just gotta be yourself, God made you be beautiful. See, beauty is vain and charm is deceitful. You don't wanna lose your life over something that's lethal. So don't be changing your bodies up in the name of love, cause they real love come from the one who sits above. He really ain't concerned about your outer appearance. Your flesh try to snatch you up, he's running interference. All your struggles and doubts, he chop it down with the battle axe. Throw it right back in the devil's face and tell him battle that. See, God does plenty for us, and falling in love with Him would be the best thing you ever done. Though this world gets hard, you must remain a true believer. Even though it's true that some people will not believe it. If it's hard to find friends, just know that the Lord's word can be your buddy for life that truly loves you. No Eddie Murphy. I repeat, just know that the Lord's word can be your buddy for life that truly loves you. No Eddie Murphy. No need to harm yourself, God made you be beautiful. Just learn to love yourself, God made you be beautiful. He's more than glad to help, He made you be beautiful. So you just gotta be yourself, God made you be beautiful. No need to harm yourself, God made you be beautiful. Just learn to love yourself, God made you be beautiful. He's more than glad to help, He made you be beautiful. So you just gotta be yourself, God made you be beautiful.
Christopher Sims.
Yeah.
Alongside yours truly,
DJ Nicholas.
And now listen to the big mouth.
And Bronx MC.
God is good.
Yeah, he is.
So that's why I'm good.
I'm good too. Let's start.
Low.
It feels good to be good. I am good, 'cause God's good.
Yep.
It feels good to be good. I am good, 'cause God's good.
'Cause he's good.
It feels good to be good. I am good, 'cause God's good. It feels good to be good. I am good, 'cause God's good.
Lately I've been feeling kinda down, walking around with my eyes to the ground. I've been worried what the storm will do. I turned around, looked at you, my perspective now new. Seeing ain't believing, worry doesn't free me. Trying to do it by myself, it doesn't represent the kingdom. Oh nah nah nah, that ain't the way it's supposed to be.
Not at all.
You've got other plans just for me.
Yeah.
Now I walk around the victory. Everywhere I go I tell the story. He will keep you in perfect peace. If you keep your eyes stayed on me, stay with me. I will reach, I will teach, change your speech. Have you seen things like good? To be good, I am good, 'cause God's good. It feels good to be good, I am good, 'cause God's good. It feels good to be good, I am good, 'cause God's good. It feels good to be good, I am good.
Let me tell you this. Goodness of God, nobody can match it. Watch it, him love a pour out, so try catch it. When your heart leak, God patch it. Anything not good for you, we can't detach it. Put him first, score more gold than a hat-trick. Without him, no St. Peter nor Patrick. Word of God sharper than a knife or a ratchet. Treasures don't last unless with him you stash it. Theater we currency in the kingdom, we cash it. The kingdom are we topic while sin we attack it. Him send us on a mission and right now we at it. The consuming fire who hotter than the traffic. When God fight your battles, no need to rematch it. If you feel ask forgiveness and him scratch it, take your entire pain, not only slash it. Our life was dirt, but Christ's blood wash it. Love.
I could be in my feelings or I could feel good, 'cause I know my God can, 'cause I knew he would. And I know I got grace, but I'm still acting sure. Is it gonna bring him glory? Is it really all good? What's good? Him dying on the cross wood. What's good? Us loving our brotherhood. What's good? Being good, fatherhood. Being light to the world, right in a neighborhood. That's good. And here's the life of the party. If you don't have him, then you really living sorry. Me and Chris and Nicholas, I'm living golly, and we out here with the good news for everybody.
It feels good to be good. I am good, 'cause God's good. It feels good to be good. I am good, 'cause God's good. We out.
I'm not a prisoner no more, I'm forgiven. Chains can't hold me, I'm truly living. He's risen me from the dead. Now comes the vision of what I'm supposed to be. Slaying down memories that keep me from my victory. I'm forgiven, say it with me proud. A hero story and I'm not afraid to scream it loud. A living witness, we're surrounded by the enemy. But still I'm here, no more tears.
A whole lot done changed since I got baptized. Time to wake them all up, no more nap time. Say you waiting for the young ones, get their mind right. Careful what you wish for, 'cause they just might be my type. Yeah, I was raised in the church, and then raised in the streets. The thought occurred, why nobody searched for me? All they ever did was judge, no one ever showed me love. I wanted nothing to do with it, but that's not even who my Jesus was. I've been deceived, I felt just like Eve, spiritually suffocating me. I'm screaming, I can't breathe. No, I'm not a pro, but I'm no beginner. Hit the devil with the pump fake, Kylie Jenner, yeah. I'm sitting in the middle of the jungle. All I keep hearing is rumble, young man rumble. Stay humble, move past what you done. I got your back, you my son. Leo somewhere said I ain't tripping, paid for all that. Let's go. Wake up, focus, trying to get it. If it's positive and for a purpose, yeah, I'm with it. I
I don't apologize for the way I was living. No, cause without it, how would I know I've been forgiven?
I'm not in prison no more, I'm forgiven. Chains can't hold me, I'm truly living. He's risen me from the dead. Now comes the vision of what I'm supposed to be. Slaying down memories that keep me from my victory. I'm forgiven, say it with me proud. A hero story and I'm not afraid, screaming loud. A living witness, surrounded by the enemy. Still I'm here, no more tears.
First he gave me forgiveness, then gave me a vision for the mission, set the provisions, then showed me the difference between knowledge and wisdom, and told me to handle my business. Can I get a witness from every blood-washed Christian, speaking life to those that are listening? Point them out where the competition, when the fight already won, it was done when he sent his son. Enemies ain't got nothing on my God, we go hard, can't rock me, no bow, y'all. And all my wounds, all these scars, just battle marks from these wars that we fight. By my side I feel like a titan. This life gets so exciting, and it's free, everyone invited. Everything you go through worth it, even though you may not like it. Our purpose is service and faith is dead if you ain't working, and boy I'ma earn it. And we don't deserve it, but God told me to tell you you're worth it. His love makes you perfect. Trying to get it. If it's positive and for a purpose, yeah, I'm with it. I don't apologize for the way I was living. No,